Good morning. How are you, Daisy?
I'm fine, thanks, teacher.
Very good. Did you work today?
No, teacher.
Today you stay home?
Yes. My day is descanso.
We say my day off is today.
Okay.
Where do you work, Daisy?
um, I'm hospital in Morelia.
Is it a private hospital or public hospital?
Repeat, please.
Do you work in a private hospital or in a public hospital?
Ay, no lo entendí, teacher.
I wrote the question in the chat. Good morning, Mami.
Private.
Private. Very good. How are you, Noemi? Good morning.
Hello, teacher. Good morning.
Okay. Could you see my the screen that I'm sharing? The one with the agenda? Okay. Well, as you see on today's agenda, we're going to continue with more listening strategies. And then we're going to do some listening practice. Then I'll show you some structure strategies that is like more related to grammar and sentences. And we're going to do a structure practice. Okay? Last class, we started seeing some general tips for listening. And today we're going to see other that are more specific. Now, the first tip that we saw last class was to focus on the second part of the speaking, on the second speaker, because there is where we will find a lot of key information, okay? Now, another tip for short conversations is this one: to choose answers with synonyms. Sometimes in the question, they will use a concept or a vocabulary word that shows a synonym of what the speaker is saying. For example, let's see this exercise. It says, on the recording, you will hear. Why is Barbara feeling so happy? She just started working in a real estate agency. And then the question will say, what does the man say about Barbara? And if we follow this tip to choose synonyms, then we will discover that the answer is B. She began a new job, because began is a synonym of start. Okay? Is this tip clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, let's do an example. Let's see an example. It says exercise 2. In this exercise, underline the key words in the last line of each short dialogue. Then underline the synonyms for these key words in the answers and choose the best answer. So let's do it similarly as the example we saw here. Like this one, started working. The synonym is began a new job. So please do these 3 exercises. Let's share the answers through the chat. Let's write like the word, the synonym, and the answer, just like in the example. I'll show an example. Started working. Began working. Answer B. Okay? So I'm sharing an example on how to answer so we can share our responses. Let's go one by one. Let's do first number 1. It says, did you hear the manager about the job in the bookstore? Yes, and I also had to fill out an application. Now, what does a man mean? Now remember, let's focus in the second part on the second speaker, and let's try to find a synonym of what they're saying. Let's see. Check your answers in the chat, please. For number 1, what word is given a synonym to in the answers for this one? Okay, let's see. Now Maricruz says D. Number 1 is D. What about the other? What do you say? Noemi, it says D. So what is the synonyms that you found? You match letter D. Complete a form that is a synonym of what expression?
Probably fill out, teacher.
Correct. Fill out with complete, right? We have fill out,
No,
complete. Let's see exercise 2. Let's do the same. Let's identify the synonym in the answers, in the question, and the correct response. Now, what's the answer for number 2? It says, we're planning to leave for the trip. Couldn't we leave before noon? What would be the synonym of that? Let's see, number 2. What did you answer in number 2? Do you know what is a synonym of noon? Okay, and Noemi says 2B. What about you, Daisy and Maricruz? Number 2? B, says Maricruz. Daisy? Let's see. It says 2B. That's correct because 12 o'clock, it's a synonym for noon. Let's look at number 3. It says, was the concert well received? The audience applauded for a long time after the performance. And the question says, what does the woman say about the concert? Remember to look for synonyms. Okay, Maricruz says for number 3, C. Daisy says C. Noemi, what do you think? Do you agree with letter C? And that's correct. The correct answer for number 3 is C. Let's see another tip. Then we have this one. It says avoid similar sounds. We know that in English, many words can be pronounced very similarly. And sometimes that can make us confused. So we have to pay a lot of attention on how the words sound and how we pronounce them. And avoiding, when responding, sounds that sound the same. I'll show you an example. Like this one. It says, why couldn't Mark come with us? He was searching for a new apartment. What does the woman say about Mark? He was in the department office. He was looking for a place to live. He was working on his research project. He had an appointment at church. In this case, the correct answer is B. And if you see, there are other words that could confuse us and choose the wrong answer, like this one, department with apartment. Now, a department office is like a division in a company, and an apartment is a place to live. And this one, it says he was working on a research project, which we could confuse with search. But research is more of a scientific area. And here searching would be like looking for a new place. And finally, it says he had an appointment at church. Okay? Let's see an example. Let's do an exercise. It says, in this exercise, underline the keywords in the last line of each short dialogue. Then, underline words with similar sounds to these keywords in the answers and choose the best answer to each question. Remember that the best answer is probably the answer that does not contain words with sounds that are similar to the sounds of the keyword in the last line of the dialogue. Activity 1, exercise 1. It says, I heard that Sally just moved into a new big house near the beach. But Sally doesn't have a cent. What does the man mean? I see you're sending your answers. I see Angel says C, Noemi C. Maricruz and Daisy, what do you think? And here the correct answer would be C. Sally has no money. And as you can see in this exercise, we can also use the strategy of synonyms. doesn't have a cent is a synonym of has no money. And the exercise could be confusing because it says, like here, has no cents. Like here, doesn't have a cent. Sally sent her friend to the house. Sally is on the set with her. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back. Here, number 2. Did you get the new car they wanted? No, they lack the money. What does a man mean? I see your answers. It says, Angel says D. What do you think, Baymar, Daisy, Noemi? D, D, D. Okay. And in this exercise, like you very well said, the correct answer is D. Let's see the last one. It says, have you finished packing yet? You should call the porter to get the suitcases. And what does a woman mean? And the correct answer, as many of you already wrote it, is B. Let's go to the next tip. Focus on the who, what, and where. Now, this type of exercises are also very common. On the recording, you will hear. Can you tell me what assignments I missed when I was absent from your class? You missed one homework assignment and a quiz. Who is the man? And the answer here is a teacher. Yes? Why? Well, we know that they're having a conversation about a class. It says, I was absent from your class. And then the man says, you missed one homework and a quiz. So the most logical response will be a teacher. And the woman might be a student. Okay? Let's do this activity. It says, in this exercise, read short dialogue and questions. Underline the clues that help you answer the question, then choose the best answer. You will have to draw conclusions about the who, what, and where. Number 1. I'd like to deposit this check in my account, please. Would you like any cash back? Now, who is the woman? And like you said very well, the correct answer is B, a bank teller. It says like deposit this check, my account, okay? Number 2, have you deposited your paycheck yet? No, but that's next on my list of errands. What will the man probably do next? Now, what do you think? What's the answer for this one? Okay, I have C, C, and A. And the correct answer for number 2 is letter C, go to a bank. Yes? A synonym of errands are pendings. That's next on my list of pendings, on my list of errands. Here, we might confuse errands with earn his paycheck. Remember to pay attention to these small differences of vocabulary and of pronunciation. Here, the woman is asking if he has made a deposit of his check. So what would he have to do? We'll go to the bank. Number 3, it says, did you get the bread, eggs, and milk? No, we need to stand in line in the checkout counter. Where does this conversation probably take place? Let's see. And the correct answer for this one is in a market. Very, very good. How do I know it's in the market? Well, it says bread, eggs, milk, stand in line. You have to stand in line when you go to a market, to a supermarket, like to pay. Very good. Now let's do a listening practice. I don't see my links. Oh, here it is.
TOEFL exercise skill.
Okay, we're going to do this activity. And to practice the 3 tips that we just reviewed. The first one is to focus on the second speaker. Number 2, paying attention to synonyms. Number 3, we also talked about like paying attention to the pronunciation of the words, because some words might be pronounced very similarly but mean other thing. And to focus on the who, what, where. Okay, let's listen.
Skills 1 through 3. In this exercise, Listen carefully to the short conversation and question in the recording, and then choose the best answer to the question. Number 1.
Let's stop and get something to drink.
Some coffee would be nice.
What does the man mean?
Now, please, if you have like a piece of paper, write your answers in, and then we'll share them when we finish the listening. We'll share the answers in the chat, okay? So that you don't forget, hi, what did I put in number 1, number 2? So please, on a piece of paper, write your answers.
Number 2.
Let's go for a walk in the park.
No, not today. It's too cloudy and cold.
What does the woman mean? Number 3.
I have trouble sleeping at night.
You could try counting sheep.
What does the woman suggest to the man? Number 4.
Have you heard that the department is changing the graduation requirements for our major?
Yes, and I just can't believe it.
What does the man mean? Number 5.
I think we're going to be here for a while.
But we've been standing in line for almost an hour.
What does the woman mean?
Okay, so if you could please share your answers and write the number before your answers, like 1A, 2B, 3C, etc., so that we know what your answer is from what exercise. Thank you, Maricruz. Let's just wait one more minute for the rest. And these are the correct answers. 1C, 2A, 3D, 4D, and 5A. Let's do another one.
Number 6.
The conductor is coming down the aisle.
Yes, he's collecting the train fare from the passengers.
What is happening? Number 7.
Have you heard about the new management training program?
It will start later this week.
What does the man mean? Number 8.
Does anyone know where the fire got started?
It must have started in the attic.
What does the woman mean? Number 9.
Aren't you going to tell me exactly what happened?
I assumed that you already knew the truth.
What does the man mean?
Now, if you could please share your answers. Okay, I see your answers are coming in. Okay, so these are the correct answers. We have 6C, 7B, 8C, 9C, and 10B. So let's see the next tips I've shared. 2, 3. And this is the last one that we saw. Yeah, this is the last one we saw. Focus on the who, what, and where. Next tip. It says, listen for who or what in the passives when we use passive voice. For example, we might hear this type of conversations. Did Sally go to the bank this morning? Yes, she did. She got a new checking account. Now, what does the woman imply? The correct answer here is that a new checking account was opened. As you see, the answer was put into the passive voice instead of active as it was in the question. She got a new checking account. That means that the account was opened by someone else. She requested the service and the account was opened. Let's do this activity together. It says, in this exercise, each of the correct answers is either a passive restatement, that means like they're repeating, of an active sentence, or the opposite, an active restatement from a passive sentence. Read each short dialogue and underline the key active or passive statement. Then read the question and choose the best answer to the question. Be careful about the who or what with these passives. Number 1, it says, Alice needs to pay her tuition today, but her tuition has already been paid. What does the man imply? And what do you think? What does he imply? Does the man mean that it has already been paid? Her education has been paid? That the tuition needs to be paid? That Alice has already paid her fees? Or that she has received the money? Could you share your answer in the chat? And in this case, the correct answer is C, meaning that she has already paid her fees. And if you see, this sentence was changed from a passive voice sentence, has already been paid, to an active voice sentence. Alice has already paid her fees. Let's see number 2. Have you been taking good care of the lawn? I watered it only this morning. What does the woman mean? What do you think for number 2? What's your answer on that? I have 2C for Maricruz. What do you think, Mimi, Daisy, Angel? What's the answer for that one? You're correct. The answer is C. Number 3. Did you hear the news about the child who was lost in the park? Yes, and I heard that she was found. What does the woman mean? Now, what do you think for number 3? Share your answer, please. Okay, now in this case, the correct answer for number 3 is letter A. Someone located the girl. Now here, in the second line, it says yes, and I heard that she was found. The answer in passive voice was changed into an active voice sentence. Okay, that's why the answer is letter A. Let's see this tip. Listen for who or what in multiple nouns. In this type of conversation, we need to focus in nouns. Let's see this example. Do you know who is in the band now? I heard that Mara replaced Robert in the band. What does the woman say about the band? As you can see, we have multiple nouns on the second part of the speaker. Like here, we have Mara and Robert. The correct answer here is that Mara took Robert's place, because replaced means to take the place, to take the spot of someone else. Okay? Let's do the activity. Okay. And it says, remember that we're going to focus on the nouns. In this exercise, underline the confusing nouns in each short dialogue. Then read the question and choose the answer to that question. Remember to think very carefully about who is doing what. Why is Bill not at work this week? His doctor made him take a week off. What does a woman mean? Now, please, if you could share your answer. And in this case, the correct answer is letter D. Why? Look, if we kind of integrate all the tips that we've been seeing today, the synonyms, similar answers, passives, etc., we'll discover that the expression made him, made someone do something, means that is an order, like this one. Bill took a vacation on his doctor's orders, like it says here. His doctor made him being Bill, take a week off. Let's see number 2. It says, why is Paul going back home this summer? He's returning to Vermont for his sister's wedding. What does a woman mean? I see your answers coming in. And in this exercise, the correct answer is letter C. Paul will be there when his sister gets married this summer. Okay? Let's see number 3. Did you hear that John's uncle died? Yes, and John was named beneficiary in his uncle's will. What does the woman mean? And in this exercise, the correct answer is letter A. Okay, let's do another listening practice. We're going to practice these last 3 skills, 3 tips that we just saw today. Who, what, and where, the passive, and nouns. And again, please grab a piece of paper so you can write your answers there and then share them through the chat.
TOEFL exercise, skills 4 through 6. In this exercise, listen carefully to the short conversation and question in the recording, and then choose the best answer to the question. Number 1.
Can I help you?
I need 2 stamps and a padded mailing envelope, please.
Where does this conversation probably take place? Number 2.
Why were the students coming to the teacher's office?
They had to hand in their papers.
What does the woman mean? Number 3.
Did Mark stop at the service station?
Yes, he had the attendant check the oil in his car.
What does the woman mean? Number 4.
I'd like a burger and fries, please.
To stay or to go?
Who is the man? Number 5.
Maybe we should make some more copies now, just in case.
Additional copies can be printed as needed.
What does the man mean?
Now, if you please share your answers. Very good. Let's do 3 more.
Number 7.
Did Jim see a doctor this morning?
Yes, and the doctor told him to return to the office to see him next week.
What does the man mean? Number 8.
Have you sent the tissue samples to the laboratory?
Not yet, but I'll get it done in the next half hour.
What will the woman probably do next? Number 9.
Has there been a change in senior class president?
Yes, Mary replaced Sue in that position.
What does the woman mean? Number 10.
Did you find that television program interesting?
I certainly did. The current political situation was analyzed effectively by the panel.
What does the woman mean?
Very good. I see your answers coming in. Very good. Okay, these are the correct answers, so you can compare with yours. Okay, so now let's integrate the 6 tips that we reviewed today with one final exercise. There are 10 questions in this exercise. And again, grab pen and paper so you can note your answers. Okay, let's begin.
TOEFL Review Exercise, Skills 1 through 6. In this exercise, listen carefully to the short conversation and question in the recording, and then choose the best answer to the question. Number 1.
Why do you think Peter said that?
I think he was really angry.
What does the woman say about Peter? Number 2.
Why is Hannah so happy?
Her parents have allowed her to stay up late.
What does the woman mean? Number 3.
I'd like some unleaded gas, please.
Would you like me to fill it up?
Where does the man probably work? Number 4.
What do you suggest for breakfast?
Well, you could have cereal or eggs or both.
What does the woman mean? Number 5.
Did Ellen help you a lot with your training?
She really urged me to do my best.
What does the man mean? Number 6.
Did you hear what happened to Rob's car last night?
Yeah, I heard that it was stolen.
What does the woman mean? Number 7.
We need to get some milk for tomorrow morning. What about this carton?
Maybe we should get the large one instead of the small one.
What does the man suggest? Number 8.
What happened when the business people arrived in the office?
Well, first they were greeted by the receptionist.
What does the woman mean? Number 9.
Did you see that? The police officer was talking to the tourist.
Yes, and then he made the tourist come to the station.
What does the man mean? Number 10.
Okay, so I'm going to show you the answers so that you can compare with yours. We have 1D, 2D, 3B, 4D, 5C, 6B, 7A, 8A, 9B, and 10D. And we're going to finish our session with a few structure tips. Now, structure refers a little bit to grammar and of how sentences are constructed. Now, the tip number one, which might seem a little bit silly or might seem a little bit basic to you, but doesn't mean that that's very important. Number one, make sure that the sentence has a subject and a verb. That is a complete sentence. I'll move that here. We couldn't see. There. So let's make sure that we have a subject and a verb. Yes? For example, you might find this type of exercises. Example 1. I have a blank space that I have to complete to make a complete sentence. Was backed up for miles on the freeway. In this case, this sentence doesn't have a subject. So I have to choose a word that is either a noun, pronoun, or a phrase that could come as a subject. Like here. What do you think is the correct answer on this one? Was backed up for miles on the freeway. D. Cars was backed up. Cars could not be the answer for this one because cars is a plural noun. And if I see, my verb is a singular verb. If it was a car, then this could be the answer. A car was backed up for miles on the freeway. But in this case, the correct answer is traffic. Traffic was backed up for miles on the freeway. I cannot say in the morning. In the morning was backed up. Yep. Let's see this example. Example 2. Engineers, that's my subject. I have a blank space for work on the new space program. Now, what do you think could be the correct answer here? Now, if we analyze the sentence, what would be missing? Is the subject missing? Is the verb missing? Now, if the verb is missing, which of those options are examples of verbs? And here, the correct answer is B, are needed. That's what I need in this sentence to make a complete sentence. Let's do an activity. It says, underline the subjects once and the verbs twice in each of the following sentences. Then indicate if the sentences are correct, that is complete with subject and verb, or incorrect. For example, last week went fishing for trout at the nearby mountain lake. And here I have a verb, but I don't have a subject because last week is not a pronoun, is not a noun, doesn't tell me who made this action. That's why this one is incorrect. Number 2, a schedule of the day's events can be obtained at the front desk. In this case, the sentence is correct because it's complete. I have a subject, a schedule of the day's event, and I have a verb, a predicate, can be obtained at the front desk. Okay, so please answer the rest of the exercises and then we'll check the answers together. Can we check the answers? Are you guys finished? Maricruz, Noemi, Daisy, can we check? Or do you need more time?
Yes, teacher, I'm ready. We need to write the answers. Or no.
Well, let's check together and you can check your answers on your own, okay?
Okay.
Let's see. Number 3. 3 is incorrect. Why? Because it doesn't have a verb. Yes? You see, there is no verb. a job on the day shift or the night shift at the plant available. Maybe here we can include is available to make a complete sentence. Number 4, incomplete. Now this one has a double verb. Number 5, complete. We have a subject and a verb. Number 6, incomplete. If you see, it has 2 subjects, but not 2 verbs. The assigned text for history class, it contains. We will have to eliminate it. Number 7, complete sentence. Number 8, incomplete. This one doesn't have a verb. Number 9, incomplete. This sentence doesn't have a subject. And number 10, incomplete, because it has 2 verbs. You see, it says this new machine processes 50%. Incomplete. It's a wrong sentence. Number 2, be careful with objects of prepositions. Yes, usually nouns, adjectives, adverbs follow preposition. We have to pay attention on what goes after the preposition to see if that's a complete or correct or incorrect sentences. Like this one. Number 1, the interviews by radio broadcasters were carried live by the stations. We have here my preposition by, the interviews by radio broadcasters were carried. That's a correct sentence. Whereas in number 2 says, in the last possible moment before takeoff took his seat in the airplane. This is an incorrect sentence. Yes, I have my preposition, but it doesn't really indicate the phrase that precedes the preposition. Let's see. Now again, check if the sentences are correct or incorrect. Okay, so let's check our answers. Now, number 3. Number 3 is complete. I have a subject and a verb and a predicate. Number 4, complete sentence. Looks good. I have my subject and my verb. Number 5, incorrect. Now, this sentence doesn't have a subject. It says, for the last 3 years at various hospitals in the country, has been practicing medicine. But who has been practicing medicine? Number 6, complete. And number 7, correct, not complete. Number 7, incorrect. Now, this sentence has double subject, has 2 subjects. Shopping in the downtown area of the city, it has improved. Okay? Okay. And with that exercise, we finished the session of today. I hope the tips that we reviewed today were very useful and that you felt more confident when you answer listening and structure exercises. Have a very nice weekend, and I'll see you on Wednesday.
See you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.